Nice to have your company on this edition of Racing to Win. Let's have a look at the field for the Class 2, Race 7, 1,400 metres. And it's headed by Saddlecloth 1, Racing Supernova. 7 starts this season, 3 minors and a 4th. Last start second behind People's Night. My Darling Kingsfield. Calculation, a big winner on the all-weather last start, but he's back to the turf. What else but you? Very well spec'd, fresh. Carter's a newcomer, former Irish galloper, who was with Joseph O'Brien, taking aim, world record, California Joy down the bottom. Just a field of 9.
Yep, it's a small but select field. Kingsfield has been near the front in most of his recent races, and he shouldn't have the 3 wide passage that he got in 2 of those. My Darling just on the inside there on the rail. And Calculation, of course, he absolutely, he destroyed them on the all-weather last time out, and prior to that he'd run a good race from the front on the turf as well, so he's in good form.
What else but you caught the eye at his last start. He was fresh up. He missed the start and scooted home nicely there for 4th. So with that run under his belt, he's going really nicely here, and he looks well placed in this. And Joe Moreira has jumped aboard. I thought I'd show the first starter here, Carter. He's had a lot of problems since he's been here, tendon issues, etc. But you can make up your own mind there. He's quite keen as he comes down. There wasn't much to show, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll get your thoughts on him in a moment, John. But firstly, we're going to hear from Richard Gibson. He's discussing the very consistent Kingsfield with Edward Sadler.
Richard, you've got Kingsfield running on Monday. Last 2 performances have been behind Pinghai Star. That form looks okay now.
Yeah, sure. I thought he gave the horse a really good fight last race, actually. I thought he ran really well, and he's gutsy to finish. So if there's not another Pinghai Star in the race, we've got to have a bit of a shout.
He's had a month between runs. What have you done with him since then?
Very little. You know, he's easy to train. He's a good athlete. Tried to keep him fresh and well for the race.
You must enjoy having a horse like him in the stable. He's so consistent.
Yeah, you're right. You know, and actually, he's come on a lot this season. He had a bad start in his Hong Kong career, and then he picked it up well last year. And I'm surprised how much he's improved this year, actually.
Especially for a 6-year-old to be able to keep on improving the way that he has. Yeah,
he's surprised me in the progress he's made. But he's a very good physical. He's good mentally as well, and the vets don't even know his name, so that's a good sign for a Hong Kong horse.
Small field, he's drawn a little awkwardly in gate 7, but he's generally gone forward. Would you stick to that pattern?
You know, we'll rely on the wizardry of Douglas. I don't mind a wide draw with this horse.
And you'd be happy with the way the stable's going? Hero time, nice win on Wednesday night, Richard?
Yeah, Happy Valley's form's picking up, and you know, we've got horses in all divisions, which makes winning races a little bit easier.
Up to 22 winners at this stage of the season, Richard Gibson, and Kingsfield is in a real purple patch of form. He's going to either lead or be very close to it, and as Richard said there, guys, he's just going to amble over and try and find the rail, I would have thought.
Yeah, the question mark is whether the calculation takes him on or not.
Yeah.
Which is a possibility.
It is.
That would worry me a little bit, but he's in good form, and I love what Richard's saying there about the vet doesn't know his name. That's a great one.
Yeah. Nothing better than soundness in horse racing.
Yeah.
Just to add about Kingsfield as well, I mean, the writing was on the wall with this fella 3 starts ago, and he won that race. He was basically 3 wide the whole way, beating New Asia Sunrise, and those 2 runs behind Pinghai Star. It's form that's aged well. So, yeah, he's going to be there or thereabouts.
Absolutely, John. Yeah, it's like a very good red wine, that form. Let's move on now to Racing Supernova, who's a very talented galloper, just starting to get back to somewhere near his best. What else but you was very solid in the market. He'd come back from a long layoff, and he ran quite an enormous race, all considered, first up, missing the start, powering home at the end. I think California Joy is looking for the drop in grade.
Yeah, what else but you can put a nice little sequence together towards the back end of last season. This was a seasonal reappearance. Obviously slightly concerned that might have taken a bit out of him, but I've seen fit to keep him in. And Racing Supernova, this was much more like the old Racing Supernova. He'd been a bit dodgy form-wise earlier on, but that was much better.
They're winning from the front that day as well, so it was a good run from what else but you. I quite like him on Monday.
Yeah, well, Calculations, the horse you mentioned before, Paul, about possibly being, you know, the testing material for Kingsfield early. Now, he did bolt up on the dirt, no doubt. I think the change of surface had a lot to do with the enhanced margin here. Can he return to the turf and give us something the same?
That's a big $1 million question, isn't it?
I don't think he can.
Yeah, I haven't got him in there, but yeah, I think he's a pace influence. I think he has a lot to do with Kingsfield's chances in this particular race. I mean, He is good on the turf as well, don't get me wrong, but I think this is quite a strong race. I prefer a stablemate.
He'd been very competitive on the turf, but he looked a different horse there, didn't he, John,
well,
on the dirt?
I've got him in. His last turf run was pretty good on the speed in the race won by Turin Red Star. They didn't hang around in that race, and he set the fractions. Obviously, he absolutely hosed up on the dirt, which is probably his surface. You have got in the back of your mind the day that he missed the start when he was $1.50 or something, and it all went haywire. So he's a tricky one, but I've got him in.
All right, we'll move on now to World Record, and he is going to have his second start in the class. He was unplaced at his first attempt, but he wasn't beaten all that far behind Pingwu Spark. On a rating of 82, he's got a terrific turn of acceleration. Tony Millard squeeze a few more rating points out of this guy?
Yeah, well, he's run third off this rating before, so he's sort of been there, done that, and Pingwu Spark is not a bad horse, as we all know. So I've got him in there for second. I think he can run a good race. He'll get back, and I think he'll be hitting the line strongly.
He's a lovely horse. I haven't got him in simply because I'm slightly concerned if they don't go too hard out in front and he gets a little bit tactical, that could be a problem for him because he generally needs the field strung out and to tick him off in the latter stages.
True. He has won up on the pace before, but I agree. I think he's a better horse ridden with a touch of patience. Who's on top, Paul?
What else but you? I thought I was really taken with his run on seasonal debut, or after that break, I should say, rather. And he's going to strip a lot fitter for that run. Missed the start. Joe Moreira jumps aboard barrier 1. Ticks a lot of the boxes for me. So he's on top to beat world record. He'll get back and run on. Racing Supernova just about did everything but win last time. He's got to carry the big weight, but he's going nicely. And then Kingsfield, just as I say, I'm just a bit worried about the tactics, what's going to be in this race. 5, 8, 1 and 3, but I think 5 can win it.
I'm going to go with Kingsfield on top here. I think he's got every chance. Whatever sort of happens in the race, I think he's pretty well equipped to deal with it in the sense that if calculation takes him on, they can take a sit and just sort of let him track calculation through. The last 3 runs have all, in their own different way, been pretty high-quality bits of form. What Else But You was a really promising horse last season. It was a good seasonal reappearance. I think he can improve on that. Calculation goes in there because I think he's running well at the moment. And Racing Supernova, £133, not going to be easy giving weight to some good horses, but he's coming back to the kind of form that he's shown in the past. But I'm a Kingsfield man here, so we're going to go win on the 3.
3 and 5 will seemingly be the dominant numbers selection-wise for race 7. All right, little break for us, and then we'll be back to look at the first leg of the treble, race 8.